All right, let's talk the UFC's plan for Conor McGregor. A lot of people are talking about this. A lot of people are wondering why he's coming back and fighting Max, what the plan is. There's a lot of talk about giving him the worst matchup possible on his way out if they can't get him to re sign a deal. Um, why he's fighting in April. He came out and said that his next date is already set and negotiated, and it's April of next year. Why so long? So let's get in the UFC's mind a little bit and figure out what their game plan is with Conor McGregor. And yeah, so here's the thing about the Max Holloway fight. Let's talk about that one first and why they went with Max. I think that they wanted Connor to fight for the BMF belt. I think kind of the plan was when they put Max and Charles together, Max was going to beat Charles, and so he was going to have Connor fight for that BMF belt, and that was going to be a pretty big deal. But then, of course, Charles threw a wrench in that, and you might wonder why they decided to go with Max anyways instead of, why not just put him against Charles then for the BMF belt. But I think that the calculation they're making is trying to it's one of two things. There's either he's going to get destroyed by Max, at which point they're like, okay, well, we don't really have anything left out of him. There's no magic left, there's no more genie in the bottle. And then at which point they'll just give him another super tough match. They'll give him, Carlos Prates or something like that. If he beats Max, though, which he could, and I mean, as much of a chance as there is for Max to just style on him, I mean, this is Conor McGregor, and love him or hate him, you know, regardless of what you think about all the controversies and trouble he's gotten himself in, once upon a time, he was something truly special. I think with all his fuck ups, that gets kind of overlooked just how good he was. But yeah, this is Connor we're talking about. So if he can, say he can even recapture, 60-70% of himself, his old self, he can do good in this fight. So it's just, it remains to be seen, coming off of that horrific leg break and the 5 years off and seemingly partying constantly throughout it. It's tough to say, but I think that's the UFC's calculation is let's see where we at. We're going to give him an opportunity to work the magic if there's any left. Because that's the thing, you don't want to just snuff out the flame. I know they were talking about giving him Carlos Prates or something like that because, he's not signing a new deal and they're trying to figure out, okay, well, if he's not going to sign a new deal, we need to build up our stars that are going to stay with us before he leaves. So I think that was on the table, but ultimately I think they want to see if there's any more magic left in that bottle and then use that if there is to entice him to stay. Because here's the thing, if he beats Max Holloway, then what they're going to do is they're going to offer him a title shot if he extends contract. They will offer him Justin Gaethje because Justin Gaethje, I mean, if Max or if Connor can recapture enough of his old self to beat Max, you got to think his chances would be pretty good against Justin Gaethje because just stylistically, Justin in Connor's prime would have been a pretty good matchup. Now, Justin could still go out and do Justin Gaethje things to him. You never know. I'm just saying, if he beats Max, that's the calculation they're going to make. Oh, well, Connor would actually like the Justin fight. Then it also gives him a chance to be champ. And then maybe we can get him to re-sign. Because he's not going to just re-sign if he beats Max and they offer him, Michael Chandler or Dustin comes back and does another fight with him or whatever. He's not going to just re-sign for that. They have to entice him. So I think they're going to be looking to use the title to entice him. Now, they might even, if Islam beats Ian Gary and stays the champ, they might even offer him Islam. I don't know that he would be as enticed by that because Islam would be probably a harder fight for him stylistically, and Islam's bigger. So I don't know. That I would say most likely if Conor beats Max, they're going to be pushing hard for that Justin Gaethje title fight and getting him to re-sign on the back of that, which I still don't know that he would do because the fact is he can probably, if he tests free agency, who knows how much Netflix would be willing to pay him. I mean, Netflix to bring Nate Diaz and him together again, or I mean, even, Jake Paul might want to try to make like his first MMA fight against Conor, something like that, Netflix would probably be willing to pay just stupid money for him. So, but with Conor, he's already made a ton of money. He is a businessman, so the money's always going to be a calculation, no matter how much he says it's not about money anymore. But it's that's why the UFC is going to have to use like a legacy play to get him to stay because he's not going to just stay to fight anybody when he can just go to Netflix and probably have easier fights for 5 times more money. So that's going to be the play if he beats Max. If he doesn't beat Max and just gets mollywopped by him, then like I said, that it's just going to be another hard fight. They're just like, okay, well, we don't have anything to entice him. He's just going to leave after this last fight. So they're going to try to drag it out and make it difficult, and they'll give him Carlos Prates or Michael Morales or something. If he beats Max and doesn't agree to re-sign a longer contract for the Justin Gaethje fight, again, they're going to give him like Carlos Prates or Michael Morales or something and be like, hey, you can keep denying the fight and extending your contract, but if you want out, you're going out on a stretcher, is basically going to be their thought process. So anyways, yeah, hope that answers your questions. That is what the UFC's calculation is on the Conor McGregor situation. That's what's going on. That's what we will be looking to see in the future. So, yeah, that's it.